Welcome to Confirmation Bias, presented by the League Ambassadors.
I'm Ambassador Kenny Ken, and for all you Laker fans out there that might be concerned because D'Angelo Russell got traded today, listen, if your knees knob, you can't play basketball, and that's my confirmation bias.
I'm Ambassador Junior Blue, and since the finals have been over, the NBA season actually got exciting, and that's my confirmation bias.
There's a war going on outside, no man is safe from. You can run, but you can't hide forever. In these streets that we done took, you walking with your head down, scared to look, you shook. Because ain't no such thing as halfway crooks.
Right,
I'm Ambassador Dad, and that's my confirmation bias.
I will say this. As a fan of the Lakers, and that being the only basketball team I've ever been a fan of, feels good to know my organization has a plan. That's my confirmation bias.
And my number one is the question that both Andre Ward and Celtics GM Danny Ainge are asking themselves after this past weekend. I'm Ambassador Chef Curry, and that's my confirmation bias.
Welcome to episode 28 of Confirmation Bias, presented by the League Ambassadors. Please feel free to follow us everywhere on our social media platforms at theleagueam.com. I'll repeat, at theleagueam, not the .com, but at theleagueam. And remember, liking is cool, but sharing is caring. We don't ask a lot of you people. All we want you to do, if you're watching, share it, please.
And listening. This is a podcast.
That too.
What do you mean, you people?
You people.
Hey, Kevin, I was thinking the same thing.
Exactly what I said. We also need your feedback, so don't be afraid to comment on our website, YouTube page, or your favorite podcast catcher if you're listening. We don't care if you hate us or love us. We just want to know either way. If you are watching us on Facebook Live, please submit any questions you may have that arise from the show, and we will do our best to answer during our diplomatic immunity segment at the end of the show. And also, Diplomatic Immunity is the name of our blog spot on our website at theleagueam.com. It's a place where the fan can have a voice and be heard. If you have something to say, then say it. And before we get to the hot topics, I just want to say a quick RIP to Prodigy. One of my favorite rappers growing up, and they got a hip-hop classic, one of the greatest hip-hop songs of all time.
Shook Ones. Thank you, Devin, for that.
And it's debatable whether the hook, whether the remix, but, that's a conversation.
As much as we reference, we don't believe you, you need more people, remember that diss was thrown at Mobb Deep.
Yep. Exactly.
Right.
So give them that credit.
On that Summer Jam screen.
Don't be next contestant.
All right, let's get to these hot topics. Today is Tuesday, and coming up Thursday, we have the NBA Draft.
Yes.
And it is already getting exciting.
Goody, goo.
You guys are going to be fucking insufferable for 2 or 3 days. All these wishes and shoulda, woulda, coulda.
It's going down, baby. Sometimes the draft can be boring. And I guess because the playoffs are so boring, the NBA, the basketball gods are giving us something to chew on. Boston has already traded out from the number 1 spot back to 3 for 1 million picks. And Philly has the number 1 pick. The Lakers just made a trade to get rid of D'Angelo Russell. Everybody's wondering if Chicago's going to trade what's his name?
Butler.
Jimmy Butler.
And the world is wondering where Indiana's going to do with Paul George.
They don't have a choice.
The cards have been laid out.
Right. I mean, we pretty much know what's going to happen at 1. We're going to skip number 2 because we'll talk about that later. So what do we think happens at 3? Kenyon?
You know what? I got a sneaky feeling. I said after the lottery when Boston got the number 1 pick, and I'll say it again, Boston is talking to everyone in the league. And, you know, the pundits are all saying that Josh Jackson out of Kansas is the pick. But I got the feeling these picks are all these picks that they have. Remember, they still have Brooklyn's first rounder for next year.
Yeah, Brooklyn's everything.
And then in the trade back, they either have a Lakers pick if we finish between
2 and
2nd and
5,
5th,
yeah.
or they have Sacramento's 2019 first round pick plus their own. So they still have a lot of assets. I feel like another trade is actually coming with Boston, and I think this might be the big one. And everyone's focusing on Paul George and Jimmy Butler. But again, I want to stress, Boston is talking to everyone
Everybody.
in the league. And we just saw Dwight Howard just got moved
To Charlotte.
to Charlotte.
He found out on social media.
Really?
Yeah,
He
he-
found out while he was tweeting about NBA rumors.
Yeah, he was doing a some sort of question and answer bit for Atlanta, and then had to stop.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So just saying, though, like there are players out there because, you know, you can't not look at what happened in the finals if you're one of the 29 or 30 teams in the league and be okay with mediocrity. You either got to be pushing, building to something great, or you've got to look and say, maybe we need to reload. And there are a lot of quality NBA players out there, and Boston knows where they need their help. They need their help in the interior, and I just wouldn't be surprised if there's another move coming.
Do you think Dwight Howard would have helped them? Because they wouldn't have had to give up the 3rd pick for that.
I think Dwight Howard, you know, some players just have a thing on them, sort
He's
of a
a hoe.
stigma. hey.
He's
Hey,
not a hoe.
no. What?
He's not a hoe.
Is that what you said, Devin?
He has a heart problem. Meaning he is 7 feet tall with a heart the size of mine.
I'm sorry. Let me let me rephrase that. He's a whore then.
He's
The whole thing.
the whole thing. Yeah, no, I don't think so. I don't think he fits with their culture. I don't think he's what they're looking for. But yes, a big that allows Al Horford to slide over to his natural spot. I think yes.
Well, let's just say the draft stays the way it is, and it's Boston keeps 3, Phoenix has 4. So who does Phoenix take? Let's say
They
they take.
making moves. They trying to make moves too, though.
Yeah,
And they got a lot of young talent, a lot of
Who
young
they take?
assets. I think
and Phoenix is close.
yeah.
Well, I think
They're looking at the wing players though, because that's what they needed.
But I heard that they're also looking at something that the number 2 pick is looking at. So it depends on how that shakes out or where they go with that. But I think most likely Fox. No, because they wanted to pair somebody with Booker, because Booker plays off the ball.
So they're gonna let Bledsoe go. They're not gonna find a taker for Brandon Knight's deal. So he's just gonna come off the bench. And then they also have Tyler. Help me now. Is it Ulis or Ulis?
Ulis?
Tyler Ulis.
The kid
Ulis,
from
Yeah, little man from Kentucky. He's from Kentucky. It's Ulis, folks.
I don't think they pick a guard. I think they looking for something.
On the wing, right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. They're gonna go wing. I saw the same thing you said.
It's interesting to see Phoenix and Philly both take that youth movement, knowing that, of course, you want to get young talent, but at the same time, like we saw in the finals, any good team that can compete has a mix of both young talent and veteran leadership. So I think for Phoenix, they ultimately just sit back and wait to see who the Lakers don't take and who Boston doesn't take. And it's talent out there. But back to Kenyon's point, though, about Boston, I think it's interesting for them because they have many guys available in the draft that kind of do the same thing. Like you look at Josh Jackson's out there. They mentioned looking at Jason Tatum, who somebody called Paul Pierce 2.0, but he has the ability. He has the ability to get his own shot. He's young. He's only 19, but his mind is old.
His mind is old. I see what you did there, Kev.
A lot of these teams are moving towards positionless basketball. They want multiple players at the same position.
Yeah, they got it, but they have multiple players though in Boston What they need is an interior presence, and I think what the trade back showed you was that they're comfortable with their backcourt, which I think everybody was like, oh, I mean, we even kind of talked about it, like maybe this is the beginning of the end for Isaiah Thomas, but Danny looked at it, which it makes a lot of sense. It's like these guys are proven. And so I'm comfortable with paying the little man $200 million.
If we had a rim protector, it wouldn't matter if
exactly.
you can't play defense.
Danny
Exactly.
is a hoarder.
Exactly.
Well, we know that's
He is
not
definitely a hoarder.
He's a hoarder.
He's definitely a hoarder.
Yeah, hey, I mean, two questions. So, will the NBA do something about the amount of picks that the team is able to stockpile and do people? I mean, he's not on Red Auerbach's level, but he's doing some Red Auerbach
he's
shit.
doing some Red. He's doing some
not
Auerbach
doing
shit.
anything but fucking people. Like it's not. It's
Red
not the
Auerbach.
league. It's not the league's fault that Brooklyn was incompetent.
Oh my God.
But I'm sure those fans. I mean, I could fuck the fans, fuck the Celtics.
Right.
But I'm sure that.
Let's just throw that out.
Yeah, let's just say that. I'm
state.
I'm sure they've got to be a little bit frustrated though.
But with all of that said, and we talk about Boston and free agency, we haven't even mentioned Gordon Hayward. I mean, Ken, do you still think he's a viable option?
Yeah, I believe the Gordon Hayward thing, they still need an interior guy. And the thing, that's what's crazy about their thing is that Gordon, like they have cap space, so they can pay for Gordon and still, I got moves to make.
Yeah, and they could pay for Gordon and trade half their picks and still have more picks than everybody else in the league
times
to
two.
get somebody on the
All
interior.
stars making $7 million a year.
Right.
Don't sleep on the Portland Trailblazers. They've got 3 picks in this draft. Right now, the Lakers also have 3 picks in the draft.
Did you know the Trailblazers had a second highest payroll?
I'm getting
Oh, of course. Of course they do. Alan Crabb and Evan Turner.
Trash. My second question, though, like looking at the draft, obviously the big names have been mentioned at the top, but like looking at the talent, like 6 through 14 is like roll the dice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
don't
And,
know.
like, do y'all see anybody flourishing out of that? I mean, they're talking a lot about the dude from, Kennard, but they got
Luke
him.
Kennard, he's a great shooter. I think
He's a more athletic JJ Redick.
Yeah.
Like the kid can shoot though.
It's a deep talent, even going deeper than that, Dev. You're right. 6 through 4. If you're 6 through 14, you need to pick for need, right? And there's, obviously the point guards are going to go a little bit early, but you still have Dennis Smith, who at the beginning of the college season, Dennis Smith was looked at as a potential number 1 pick.
Yeah.
So he'll be down there. They got the French point guard, Frank. I'm not even going to pronounce his last name because it starts with an
Frank
N and a
N.
T.
Yeah.
Frank N. They got Frank N. So I think you pick for need. But then even getting to the bottom of the draft, you got guys like Jordan Bell. You got Bam Adebayo. You got Josh Hart, the guard out of Villanova. You've got some really good
dude
players.
from
Frank
Gonzaga, too.
Mason, Gonzaga,
They're saying he's
Nigel
a
Williams
second
Goss.
round.
Yes.
Both of them are second round.
Right.
Yes.
And then nobody's even mentioning, Monk, who's a little further up.
Yeah, Malik is
He's
right
flipped
on
a
that.
little bit,
He's
though.
on that 5. He's on that 5-6 range.
It's supposedly a deep draft.
It's
and
a
you
deep
should be able to
draft.
get some talent
Supposedly.
late.
Yeah.
Right.
And all we can say is supposedly.
Yeah.
Because who knows? Well, we got
Find out Thursday.
Yeah, but we got time to talk about that fight this weekend.
Which one?
Both of them. But here's what I'm gonna say: the referee should never be a part of the story.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate.
Never. Regardless of the sport, the referee should never be part of the story. And both fights, the referee was part of the story. The undercard with Guillermo
Rigondeaux.
it's Rigondeaux.
Rigondeaux.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Flores fight. What happened?
So, people have been talking shit about him because he's not exciting. So he wanted to bring a little bit more excitement to the fight. So it's in the first round. Dre and Sergey just get into the arena.
Right.
It's supposed to go 12 rounds. And then 10-second bell goes, and they're on the ropes. And Rigondeaux is getting his Lennox Lewis on, holding behind the head. He throws a couple punches. And I believe the ref's name was Vic Draculich, or whatever his name is.
I call him John Kerry.
Right? He goes to step in, and the bell is about to ring, and simultaneously, he misses. He pulls the arm down. They throw at the same time. Someone goes night-night, and he gets knocked the fuck
Well,
out.
the story is that even after the bell, and they go, which was weird, they go look at it,
I've never seen
and they
anybody.
still got it wrong.
Yeah,
Exactly.
but it's been overturned.
Oh, has it?
Yeah,
No decision.
it's been overturned and no decision.
How
Which
do you
is
go?
what I thought
How do you
would
go? How do you go out the ring, look at the monitor, and say, "I can't hear where the bell It was before the bell.
Then he tried to blame it on
Yeah.
HBO too.
Oh, with the commission?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was crazy.
Well, and then they named it a knockout, but then they overturned it the other day. But then we got the bigger story,
Low blow.
dick shot.
Multiple.
And it's really sad because to me, this was this was the defining fight for Andre Ward to come back after a hotly contested first fight, and then to come back in a rematch, and you saw the momentum shift.
Yeah,
it was one of those things where Kovalev might have been up on the scorecards, or it was competitive on the scorecards, but you felt like Ward was winning the
It was
fight
the
because
same
you
thing
knew
that
that he
happened.
was. You knew he was coming. He was
But
working
it
on
felt
something.
different though, the way we were talking. Like, oh, here comes, they're gonna have a third one because it's not looking good for Ward. Like he was behind
The
the stick.
momentum shifted real fast though.
Yeah, like round 6.
It started going to the body, and honestly, I was in a certain mental state when we
you
were
were?
watching the fight. When I rewatched,
I'm gonna sip some of this.
when I rewatched the fight, though, you could see Ward was. Ward was. Hey, let's keep going, guys. Let's keep going. Ward was building towards something with the body work, with pressing the attack. That's why he started with the hellos at the opening, at the beginning of the round. He would give him with the hello right hook, with the left hook, and so it just is unfortunate because Tony Weeks, he missed it.
He missed it, and
He missed it.
We can agree to disagree on whether, like we did that night, if they were low. Say they were all good, valid punches.
Fight shouldn't have been stopped.
Right.
Standing 8 count.
Yeah.
Standing 8 count
Should have
at
been a
least.
standing 8 count.
Yeah.
That's a warrior in there, and he deserved to get a chance to keep fighting.
Yeah, and I actually read somewhere that 2 judges had Ward ahead 67-66 at time of the stoppage. Third judge had Kovalev up 68-65. So you let that fight play out. Either way, man.
How long until part 3?
Oh, they don't fight again.
They won't fight
don't?
again.
Nah.
They don't
Can't
fight
see Kovalev letting that slide.
He don't have a choice.
Ward will.
And his trainer said, well, we'll see if he's still around because
Right.
he had a very interesting conversation after the fight. But he says he needs to take a couple tune-up fights so he can get back into winning form before he takes another fight.
Yeah.
And boy, are we late.
Oh, I'll get us up to speed with our Black versus Blue antonym segment, the boys versus the boys. Throw a couple questions y'all way. We're going to start with hit or flop. The great wizard, the logo himself, Mr. Jerry West, is returning to Los Angeles, but this time as the GM of the Clippers. So if you guys, Les, Omar, and Ken, if you guys can put your LA bias aside for a few seconds, is this a hit or flop that the best GM in basketball can finally turn the Clippers organization around?
Well, it's a hit that the Clippers got him. The problem is, what can he do?
The problem is Doc Rivers still
Still
the
the coach.
president of basketball operations?
12, 13, 14, 15 seconds. I put it aside. It's a fucking flop.
Kevin,
You guys are terrible.
Kevin, it's a hit because he ain't never, ever missed. I mean, Lakers, Memphis, Golden State. Now, there is the Clipper voodoo.
So is he getting rid of Doc?
That's what I'm saying.
Is
So-
Doc still the coach?
If there's one team that could fuck up his juju, it would be the Clippers.
Exactly.
Can he
But it's a
turn?
hit.
Can he make money? Are they gonna be working with the monopoly money as far as their cap situation goes?
We're going to find out. But hey, Jerry West can draft the team, man. We've definitely seen him do it.
And they don't have any picks.
Give him some time.
He's 98 years old.
Rome wasn't built in a day.
And Chris Paul ain't getting no younger either.
Neither of those knees.
That is definitely true. We're going to switch it up and go to golf. Mr. Brooks Koepka, 27-year-old gentleman, won the U.S. Open over the weekend. His win marks the 7th straight major won by a first-time winner. So I'm going to ask you guys, put a question out there to all the killers and the $100 billers. Is this a sign of hope or hype that there's truly parity in the sport of golf moving forward?
I'm just going to say it's hype because it's been parody since Eldrick had that Thanksgiving escapade.
Exactly. I mean, in the last hey, in the last 4 years, there's only been two golfers, Jordan Speight and Rory McIlroy, to actually win 2 majors in the last 4 years. So it's parity.
Tune into our show on Thursday where we're going to have an in-depth discussion on golf.
Is Omar gonna be there?
No, he won't be. He won't be there. But I would say,
That's what I think about parody.
well, and that's
Tune in Thursday.
That's a good question. But I would say that it's hopeful for anyone that's out there golfing as a professional. You too can win a major.
I guess there's hope out there for us after all to be the second black golfer to dominate the sport.
I'm sorry. Do any of us golf, Kevin?
Who was the first
Kevin,
black
you golf?
golfer?
Oh God.
Well,
Keep going. Don't keep going.
Keep going, Kevin. we up against it.
Newsworthy or nothing to see.
hey, me plus Tiger. So, so last but not least, we're gonna go back to boxing. Actually, Pacquiao and Horn are set to fight July 1st, live on ESPN, which means it's free for someone like me who won't pay for boxing. I'm gonna ask you guys: do you think that this fight, the approach to this fight, rather, would change the way that fights are promoted moving forward in terms of free access to big names in boxing? Is this newsworthy or nothing to see?
Who's the big name in this fight?
Manny had his heyday.
Oh, well, part of the problem is, man, this isn't new.
PDC ain't work.
It's coming.
They had the blueprint.
Yeah.
Right? And Errol Spence was on during the Olympics. That's why some people know his name.
Mm-hmm.
And they did try and get that Floyd Pacquiao fight on CBS. It just didn't work out. That would have changed the game right then and there. So this is something that's been coming. There is a blueprint for it. So I mean, any good fight that is free is great.
I think it's newsworthy for HBO Boxing. Top Rank, who Manny Pacquiao is signed with, has basically, and they do have some fighters in their stable. I think they're a little young now, but HBO Boxing has steadily been cutting their budget for the last 3 or 4 years. And now it's to the point where Top Rank, they've got to go somewhere. For the Manny's last 2 fights, they've done their own pay-per-view, but I think it's newsworthy in the sense of HBO Boxing is going down, so Showtime has definitely won that fight.
HBO is basically only doing pay-per-views now.
Right, but then for Pacquiao, it's newsworthy because he's no longer a draw, so now he's on ESPN.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. Is you with it or nah? Something I've been looking forward to because, I don't know what they should do. But
let's go Lakers.
Hey, with the draft 2
God.
days away, we have 3 Laker fanatics in here. But today, between Devin and Omar, I have a question. A quick debate. Should the Lakers trade the number 2 pick for a superstar or for additional picks? Or B, should they draft a player they feel can be a star at number 2? So, Devin, call it in the air.
Tails.
Almost fumbled that one. And Tails it is.
I'm going to go with keep the pick. Omar.
Of course, Devin goes first. You know what? I'm going to go first.
All right.
I take it back.
Uh-oh.
Let's go.
All right.
Scared
3,
to death.
2,
She's scared to
1.
look.
All right, so the Lakers should trade the number 2 pick. They should trade the number 2 pick and Larry Nance to the Sacramento Kings for the number 5 and the number 10. I say Larry Nance because they already said no to 2 for 5 and 10. That'll be the sweetener to get them to do it. The reason why I say that is because we all know PG-13 is coming to the Lakers in 18 if we don't swing the trade this year. But let's just say for argument's sake, he's coming next year. So at 5, you draft De'Aaron Fox. At 10, you draft, what's his name? Oh, my God. Luke Kennard, the shooter. So now you got a defensive point guard who's great in the pick and roll. You got a shooter. We already traded for Brook Lopez, who was an expiring contract. So you got this young gunner, you got the shooter, and then you got PG coming next year. Now, if we had 2, that's fine. You go with Lonzo, who's slow. He's not good in the pick and roll. He's not good defensively. You know, all those things. His father is a bore. I'm just saying. So you go with those. Or you do something even better. You do something different. You take that 5 and 10, you trade it to New York for Porzingis and Carmelo Anthony. And then you got Porzingis, Brook Lopez, Carmelo, PG-13 on the court at the same time. What you gonna do? You tell me what you gonna do. I'm done.
Be a 6 seed.
Regardless, we gonna be a 6 seed.
That was funny. Be a 6 seed.
All right. So this marks the third year in a row that the Los Angeles Lakers have had the number 2 pick in the NBA draft. Something has to hit. I would advise the Lakers to actually stand pat and keep the pick, and here's why. LA native or LA area native Paul George already said that he's coming home. He's leaving Indiana. He's not re-signing with them, but he's not available till next year. So the Pacers would love to trade for him, but the Lakers don't have anything that they would want, and it doesn't make sense right now, especially when they know they can get him. But the Pacers aren't going to take, any bullshit, to give up one of the best two-way players in the league. Plus, the Cavs are looking to sign him or trade for Love, and they feel like if they win the ship, maybe they can keep, PG from coming out here with y'all. But it's hard because he's a one-year rental. So with all that going on, all that uncertainty, why not shift your attention to another homegrown hero and draft Lonzo Ball with the number 2 overall pick? Now, I know Ambassador Junior Blue has said in the past he'd rather have Josh Jackson, but rumor has it his second workout with the Lakers did not go very well at all. He kind of stunk it up. Now, the marketing that Ball can bring and generate for exposure to L.A. brings some pizzazz back to the town that's been lacking in the last couple of draft picks, and especially since they've made the move with Russell today. So, obviously, they weren't a fan of his leadership or the way that he handled his off-court issues.
Snitch.
He's a 6'6" point guard who likes to pass. So why not draft him and allow him to get molded by the best big league guard in NBA history who happens to actually run the franchise right now? So I know people say that LeVar is a distraction and that, he's going to be an issue. But he's not on the road. He's not on the court. And then you couple that with the fact that PG's probably going to end up here next year.
Probably.
It's a win for the organization. Keep the pick, draft the kid.
Shout out to Les for creating a debate topic where the Lakers win either way. Golf clap.
As I should. All right.
Y'all been finding ways to win for him since we started the show.
Exactly.
Kenyon, what's your bias?
Okay, so full disclosure, everybody ready to laugh? Because I got a big laugh for you. Okay, Omar's thing about 5 and 10 and going to the Knicks. Yeah, that came from me. He wants to win the debate.
He is the judge. We have Laker conversations all the time.
But I appreciate Devin's argument. And I appreciate.
And I lied about Lonzo Ball.
And he lied about Lonzo. And he lied about. He told him. Yeah. He completely lied about Lonzo Ball. He said his dad was a bore, which his dad is a lot of things. A bore is not one of them.
I think I meant to say bull, but.
So my bias is confirmed with Devin. I choose Devin. Devin, you are the winner. Thank you. And we are taking Lonzo Ball. There are no questions asked.
Well, there's absolutely no question now. With what happened today.
Yeah. Today threw a lot of curveballs.
Threw a lot of debate notes out the window. Show prep.
Yeah, no, it's Lonzo Ball, and I'm excited for it. I think Lonzo, he is as you said, the natural point guard that we need.
Yeah.
And he's gonna make everyone better. I don't think we'll have as many young guys as maybe I thought we were going to have a couple of days ago.
We may even have less by Thursday.
We may even have less by Thursday. Look like we're on a mission to ship them all out. Which we had talked about.
Yeah.
We had said, none of the youngins might be here by the time the season starts except for Ingram. And
that's kind of the point. If you have assets that you don't believe in, but you know they're assets that's tradable,
flip them.
You better flip them before it's too late.
Yeah. I do like
Don't be a hoarder.
I do like the Luke Kennard. I like that. I like that a lot. I think he is a shooter that we need.
Look at Kevin's face.
Especially since D'Angelo was our best shooter on the
But,
team.
but to be clear, guys, and I'm talking specifically to Kevin and Devin. To be clear, what I said was 5, 10, and 28. Okay, so if from Phil's perspective, he'd have the 5 pick, the 8 pick, the 10th pick, and the 28th pick, plus Luol Deng, who's a great triangle player.
That's a minus.
Nah. Not for him. Not in with
If
four
he's running
rookies. When he's running the triangle, he's a plus.
And 3 years ago.
Nah, he's no. He's. I actually hope we keep him. I think he's.
The only thing wrong with Luol Deng is his contract.
He's at the point in his career where he's a stretch 4 now. Definitely.
Let me ask y'all this, and of course Thursday's show would answer a lot of these questions. But what could happen Thursday that would either shock you guys or be a complete disappointment?
If they took Fox at 2.
If they took Tatum.
Oh God, that's even worse.
Y'all
Exactly.
still okay? Y'all still okay with Jackson after the reports about his workout?
That's fine. I mean,
He's fine because he would make us better defensively. But no, Fox.
Well, I've always felt I wanted Lonzo over Jackson anyway.
Fox would be the thing because he can't shoot, and
he's got a little dog in him though. But you probably wanted Jackson because you're thinking of keeping D'Angelo.
Exactly.
Right.
So that
So
out
that
the
changes
window.
It. Yeah, that changes it.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with Fox though, honestly.
he's a little slight.
He's slight, and again,
And Ball isn't.
But he's 6'6" though.
but Ball can shoot, so it's not gonna be a problem. He can shoot.
Can he wear that shirt under his NBA jersey?
I feel like we're starting. I feel like whatever 17 people are. Oh, that's funny. I just caught what you said. Oh wow.
I thought he was going somewhere else with it.
Yeah. I think we're losing the people though because we're Lakers centric. It's okay. It's a great time for us. It's been cold in LA.
In my confirmation bias, it feels good to have hope.
It's been cold for a while. We got anything in dip?
Nope. Just a comment. We were talking about D-Ho. Slug said he's 7 feet of garbage. That's about it.
That's about it.
Yeah.
We can end it right there. 7 feet of garbage.
7 feet of garbage.
It's the new name of the show.
New name of the episode. Yeah. Oh, shoot. It's my turn.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching and listening to episode 28 of Confirmation Bias. Remember, please follow us everywhere on our social media platforms at The League AM. And at the same time, sharing is caring. Liking is cool. Do them both. And we're out.
Wow.
Good night.
I don't even know what to
Good night.
say about that.
Dunny.